Are you too self-aware for therapy? No. Let me explain. So you're smart. You're introspective. You're incredibly self-aware. You've read every book, watched every TED Talk, and you probably have an honorary PhD in your personal issues. Yet, you find yourself asking, if I already know everything there is to know about my problems, why do I still feel so stuck? Because it's the story you're proving to yourself daily. Each thought you have makes you more certain you're broken and that no one can help you. This is a victim mindset in disguise. Yeah, I said it. You don't need to rationalize your trauma. You don't need to explain your baggage. You don't need to intellectualize your wounds. You need to heal them and get out of your own way. Fear drives these behaviors. You would rather prove to yourself and everyone around you that you're too smart and aware to get help because truly seeking help is scary. You have no idea what's under the surface level understanding of your issues, and it's terrifying. I don't say this to judge people like this. I am one of these types of people. I have been for a while, and it's what I've been working on forever, or not forever, but hardcore. I've been working on it for a long time. This exact pattern is one that I've had to learn how to overcome. Think about how powerful my excuses were. I'm literally trained in trauma therapy. I have a degree in neuroscience. I study this stuff for a living. If there's anyone who could be considered too aware, it's me, but I'm not. And I was blinded by the same pattern above. If I can do it, you can do it too. Today, we're talking about why we do this and how to get out of our own way. Buckle up. It's going to be a wild time. Before we dive in though, if you're a high achieving trauma survivor who looks like they've got it all together, but secretly feels like their nervous system is on fire and you're struggling mentally and emotionally, I am you. And I help people like us heal. My name's Cody. I've spent 22,000 hours studying the mind and the nervous system. I have a degree in cognitive neuroscience. I have training in IFS psychotherapy, which is a type of trauma therapy. And yes, I also am a 6-figure creator. I have nearly 1 million followers across my platforms. Okay, so if anyone knows what it's like to feel externally successful but internally bankrupt, that would be me. Okay, you're not alone, and I create videos every week to help people like us heal. So if you're new here, hit subscribe. Otherwise, let's dive into today's topic. Why is self-awareness not the same thing as healing? First of all, let's put the myth to bed. I kind of already did. Healing and self-awareness are just straight up different things. Imagine having a beautifully detailed map of a city, studying every road and landmark meticulously, but never actually stepping out your front door. You know exactly how the city is laid out, yet you remain stuck indoors. This is exactly how your brilliant analytical mind is approaching your emotional pain. The problem isn't awareness. It's your over-reliance on it. You believe that understanding your patterns and trauma intellectually is enough, but intellectual understanding alone won't heal your wounds. Just like knowing where a pothole is in a city doesn't fill it in and fix the pothole. Okay, so let's talk about brains quickly. You know me, I can't help myself. I love brains. It's what a study. It's even more important to know what's happening under the hood today because intellectualizing emotions can backfire. The act of intellectualizing, rationalizing, whatever you want to call it, engages your prefrontal cortex. This is the sophisticated thinking part of your brain responsible for planning, rational decision-making, and complex thought. It's essential, but here's the catch. Healing emotional wounds isn't primarily a prefrontal cortex job. Wild, right? Instead, it requires the engagement of deeper brain structures, such as the limbic system, including your amygdala and your hippocampus. The amygdala processes emotional memories, especially fear and trauma. Everyone knows that. Well, I guess not everyone does. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. The hippocampus stores those memories contextually, where new memories are made. When you merely rationalize your trauma, you're actively avoiding activating the emotional core of the experience. Not that you need to re-experience and re-trigger old memories. That's old. That's old psychotherapy tactics. You don't have to do that. Witnessing is different than that. But going and not being afraid of witnessing and being with instead of being in, big difference there. Okay. It's kind of like trying to treat a deep wound with the surface level like cream. You might temporarily ease the sting, but the deep tissue remains injured. You need some freaking stitches. This is actually at the core of my gripe with top-down only therapies. They ignore the deeper stuff by keeping you in the prefrontal cortex only. So sticking with the analogy above, you're just rubbing surface level cream on a deeper injury over and over and over. So no wonder so many people are frustrated with the therapy industrial complex these days. How you work with emotional core differs among trauma therapy methods, but one thing is for sure. Ignoring it does not work, okay? All right. So why does our brain even default to intellectualizing trauma? It's a great question. It's a great question, imaginary viewer that I talk to while I'm filming these videos. It all comes back to evolution. Evolutionarily speaking, our sophisticated reasoning capabilities evolved later and gave humans a competitive edge. Intellect helps us cope and predict threats, but at the cost of sometimes creating distance from the direct emotional experience. This protective mechanism was crucial for our survival. It allowed our ancestors to navigate complex social environments and plan for threats without constantly being overwhelmed emotionally. However, when you continuously intellectualize and avoid the deeper emotional processing needed to truly heal, your brain maintains the original threat and pain at a subconscious level. Your intellectual awareness becomes a sophisticated defense mechanism, shielding you from fully facing your deeper emotional wounds, which was fine back in the day, but I don't know if you noticed, there aren't any saber-toothed tigers running around anymore. Plus, we live for so much longer now. That means the baggage we bury has far more free time to bother us. Fewer active threats distract us, and more time to wreak havoc on our subconscious mind. So why are we so committed to staying stuck intellectualizing our trauma then? You already know why. Fear. Okay, let me clarify something quickly for you. The fear you're feeling isn't coming from